This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome to Kumar Consulting. So guys, in this session once again we are going to continue the basic settings itself. So in basic settings, what major important topics which we have covered till now? We have seen like fiscal year variant, we have seen posting period variant, we have seen field status variant, number range, document type. These are the things which we have seen. Now, still we are having certain topics which we have to cover, and that is like, look at here, tolerance group. Okay, tolerance group is there, and even after that I'll cover this posting key. So we are having tolerance group and we are having posting key. So now tolerance group is a pretty important topic, guys. We need to have a perfect understanding. So let me explain about this tolerance group. It's here. Okay, it's here. Now, so tolerance group. What is the use of this tolerance group? Okay, now I'll just do one thing, guys. I'll put an example. Okay, it's like that. Now I'll put an example. First of all, I'll let you know the definitions here. Look at here, tolerance group. It is also called tolerance limits. So it refers to a way to make sure that the employee do not exceed their limit in terms of amount or discount in financial transaction. Now here, definition is a bit confusing, guys. Those who are seeing these all things first time. Okay, what exactly I said? It's tolerance limits or tolerance group refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limits in terms of amount or discount in financial transactions. Certain things I have specified here. Okay, now I'll just do one thing, guys. I'll quote an example and then we'll explain what is this, and then we'll come back again and we'll do the configurations. So first of all, understanding must be there, guys. Even because once you become a consultant, you can get a requirement, any kind of requirement, even related to this tolerance group also. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand the concept of tolerance group. Once you know that, easily you guys are going to perform if you receive the requirements and all. Now here, let's suppose in the previous lecture, I have given certain examples during posting period, posting period variant, that there was 3 friends A, B, C, right? And A had made a mistake. All three actually made mistake, like they forgotten to post a transactions which belongs to previous period, and now the previous period was closed, and now we enter into current period, right? So these things I have explained, that how the things are happening, how the even whoever the authorized persons are there, so how they are going to restrict even users also to post the particular transactions or the particular period and all in the previous lecture. Now same, I'm going to start the similar example I'm going to give. Okay, again the same friends are there. Let's suppose they are the part of a particular team, say for example account payable team. Okay, it is also called P2P team, procure to pay. So account payable, APT. What is happening? This A, B and C. So now all three are having different responsibility. Okay, in account payable team, let's suppose some people involve in the maintenance of master data, that is called vendor master data, creation or modifications. What is this vendor master data? How to set up? We'll see, in future once I start the account payable topic. Now, so this A is involved in vendor maintenance, the part of vendor maintenance team, okay, or vendor management team. In the sense, these people are involved to create and modify the vendors. Okay, why? Because guys, whenever if you talk about any transactions, let's suppose any account payable related transactions. Account payable means what, guys? All the vendor related transactions are going to be taken care. So here, generally, whenever we are going to procure certain things from vendor, then what will happen? Vendor is going to send you the invoices and all. Those invoices are supposed to be posted in the system. So where it is going to be posted, guys, we must be having, so that invoice must be posted against particular vendor itself. So that vendor must be set up in SAP, right? So who is going to set up that vendor? That vendors. So whichever the vendors are there, that is going to be set up in SAP in the form of master data. What is this master data? Don't worry, we'll explain later. So this guy involved into maintenance of vendor master or management of vendor master. Now, B is involved in what? Invoice posting. Okay, invoice posting. Whatever the invoices are being received from vendor side, that is going to be posted by B. And C is involved in payment posting. Okay. So in every organization, what is happening, guys? The roles and responsibility will be segregated. So now C is involved in payment, in the sense C is going to release the payment against all the vendors. Now here, as I said, these three are close friends. So now let's suppose they had an idea. They had an idea. What idea? They said like, okay, since we are releasing payments against several vendors and all, right? Every day we are going to courier lots of checks and all, right? Now, worth of 50 lakh rupees, 1 crore rupees, or 20 lakh rupees, isn't it? 5 crore rupees, 4 crore, whatever. Because if it is a big organization, of course, whatever the payments are going to release, that is also huge itself. Now here, what will happen, guys? So now they said that we'll do one thing. This A is going to create dummy vendor, okay, with any name. A is going to create a dummy vendor, and in that A is going to put his own bank account. In every vendor master, what is happening, guys? Let's suppose, because nowadays, let's suppose online transfer is happening. Okay, online transfer is happening. So here, what is happening? Now in vendor master, all the details, even bank details, are also going to be specified. So now they said that A is going to set up a dummy vendor and A is going to give his own bank account in the vendor master. B is going to post a dummy invoice. B is going to post a dummy invoice against okay. So now here, okay. So here vendor, I'm writing in shortcut, guys. So now A is going to create a dummy vendor, and in that vendor, A is going to maintain his own bank account. B is going to post a dummy invoice against that particular vendor. Okay, let's suppose worth of 1 crore rupees. Now, and C is going to release the payment against this 1 crore rupees. Okay, so here what is happening, guys? Transactions involved. Now, and what is this activity, guys? Fraud. And it means they have planned that if we do this kind of things and all, then what will happen, guys? If A, B, C is going to release the payment is going to be transferred here in this bank account, A bank account, right? And this is how they will be able to get around 30 lakh plus everybody, 33. Now, this is also a huge amount. So now, I'll tell you, so that is their plan. Okay, now what will happen? So here, I'll tell you guys, in SAP, we are having lots of checks and control, right? If these three people, a ground level people who is working, just doing a kind of data entry work, if they are able to think, if they are able to plan such kind of activities and all, what about the people who have developed this SAP? It's not a one person, right? There will be a complete team who is working together, and that too, lots of scholars, lots of experts will be there, belongs to different domains and all. What about those people? They have thought beyond to these people, right? They have thought around, like their thought processing means what? 100 steps further than these people, right? 100 steps ahead than these people. So it means what is happening, from nowhere any kind of fraud is possible in SAP, guys. Forget about other ERPs and all, because now what is happening, even that is also a kind of specialty. In the previous session, I explained, like whenever the sales and marketing team of any particular organizations visit the client locations, and once they give the presentations about the SAP and all, they will count these all things also, that nowhere, not even a chances of 0.1% of any sort of frauds, are there in SAP. In the sense, like from nowhere, in the sense from none of the angle, these kind of activities cannot be done in SAP and all, because we are having lots of checks and control, lots of kind of validations will be there, isn't it? So now here, that is their thought. Now, so is it possible? This is not possible. Okay, why it is not possible, guys? Because we are having certain restrictions. Okay, we are going to apply certain restrictions. Say, for example, what restrictions will be there, guys? So restrictions will be there in terms of, let's suppose, amount, even in terms of discount also, we'll explain later. Now we'll talk about amount itself. So let's suppose we have created certain tolerance group. Okay, we are going to set up certain tolerance group. Now what will happen? Tolerance group means, guys, let's suppose I have created tolerance group, like any code can be given, like let's suppose T01, T02, T03. Okay, these three tolerance group, let's suppose we are going to set up now. So what is happening, guys? For this tolerance group, what is the use of this tolerance group, guys? This is going to apply a kind of restrictions in terms of what, guys? In terms of transaction posting. In the sense, here in T01, we have given a restrictions that this tolerance group, whichever user ID belongs to this tolerance group, will not be allowed to post a transactions which is more than 10 lakh. Okay, here let's suppose we have given limits up to 50 lakh and here unlimited, in the sense like let's suppose I have assigned all this A, B, C. These people I have assigned, these three I have assigned under this tolerance group. Okay, here we are having, let's suppose D, and here we are having E. This D is TL and E is manager. Okay, so this ground level people, what is happening guys? These people have thought to do these things. Now what is happening? Whenever the B is going to post an invoice worth of 1 crore rupees, system will throw an error that your amount limit is 10 lakh rupees itself. You cannot make posting of transactions which is more than 10 lakh rupees. Okay, now there will be one more question in your mind. It's okay, if not 1 lakh rupees, at least for 10 lakh rupees also, in well, like for this small amount also the fraud is possible. I'll tell you guys, even not fraud is not possible for a single rupees also, right? Because in further sessions we are having certain unique topics which I'll cover guys. Okay, so there also lots of restrictions are there. This is the one which I am explaining right now. Further we'll have other topics also. So that's what I'm saying, that lots of controls are there. Lots of controls are there. So there is not at all, not a single percent of the chances of any kind of frauds. So now here what is happening? We have restricted, right? In the sense like this instead of 1 crore rupees, we are saying that this limit will be 10 lakh rupees only. Even we can reduce it. Instead of 10 lakh, we can make it 1 lakh rupees also. It depends upon the organizations. They will say that okay, we want to have these kind of our entire limits are going to be segregated in 3. Okay, so 10 lakh, 50 lakh and unlimited, or is 1 lakh, 50 lakh unlimited, 5 lakh, 50 lakh unlimited, right? It could be anything, or is even this is going to be segregated in 4 also, right? So what is happening? Tolerance group, what is happening? What is the use of this tolerance group, guys? Okay, so it is going to apply a kind of restrictions on users in terms of what, guys? In terms of amount, transaction amount, and even in terms of discount also. Discount also, guys, let's suppose I've given 5%. Okay, here also I've given, here I'm going to give 10%, and here I have not given anything. It means unlimited. Okay, will be, or else like I give 20%. So what is happening now in terms of discount? Why? Because let's suppose if you are going to post any customer related invoices, and while posting, let's suppose the customer is like, you're having some personal contract or contact with the customer. Customer is nothing but an organization itself. So now what is happening? You might have given some 50% discount. You might have allocated 50% discount to the customers. So customer got benefited, right? And in turn, customer is going to also give you certain benefits indirectly. So now what is happening, guys? Even in terms of discount also, we are going to apply restrictions that you, in the sense the users belong to this tolerance group T01, will not be allowed to provide a discount which is more than 5%. It means less than, equals or less than 5% discounts only can be allowed. So anyway, guys, this discounts and all will come into picture once again once we proceed further. In account payable, we are having a topic called terms of payment, okay, or payment terms. So there we are going to discuss in details. Okay, right now we'll talk about this amount itself. We'll talk about this amount itself. Okay, so what I said, like, it is not possible. Why? Because we have reduced the limit. We have reduced the limit. right? Now here, let's suppose the amount was reduced till 10 lakh rupees, so everybody's are going to get 3 lakh, 3 lakh, 3 lakh. For that, I don't think that they are going to do this planning and all, because the amount is quite small, and for that, again, if you do these things, they have to quit the job, right? Now here, so, and I said like even this is also not possible, but in future further classes, once we proceed further, we are having several other topics also, guys. So then you will come to know how it is not possible. Okay. Now, even we are having a topic called sensitive field. Sensitive field is a quite unique topic, guys. No one is covering nowadays. Not nowadays, even earlier also. That is a unique topic. I'll cover later, okay, in the upcoming sessions, and there I'll let you know. Okay. Even some requirements also I'll give you guys later. Okay. Recently I've received certain requirement, and I'm planning to provide some requirement from that one itself, whatever I have received. So it is quite easy. I'll let you know. Now here, what is happening? That so here we have defined three different tolerance group, and for every tolerance group, what is happening, guys? We have given certain limit, certain amount limit. So 10 lakh rupees. It means what is happening? Once B is going to post the invoice, B will not be allowed to post the invoice which is more than 10 lakh rupees. Once C is going to, let's suppose, so if the invoice itself, if the invoices itself unable to post, if this guy is unable to post the invoice itself, then how the payment is going to be released? And even for this guy also, what is happening? We have applied these restrictions. Okay, that this guy cannot post, this guy cannot post a payment also, or this guy cannot release a payment also, which is more than 10 lakh. Okay, so now what is happening, guys? Their plan, it's shattered there itself. Okay, so that is what I have specified here. Tolerance group or tolerance limits refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limits. In terms of what? In terms of amount, even in terms of discount also in financial transactions. Now I'll just do one thing, guys. I will just do one thing. Well, login. Okay, let me. I was making some experiment. Let me log in here because the connection is broken. And here. Okay, now what is happening, guys? For experiments, okay, for experiments, right now we are not having any transaction to post, okay, but I have made one experiment in a different company code, so I will show you. Okay, first of all, how to configure this. So we are going to define tolerance group for users, tolerance limit for users. Now, so instead of three, what is happening? We are going to set up one itself, and we'll assign our user ID against this one. Okay, because we are not having any other user ID. So we'll test on our user ID itself so that you guys will be having a perfect understanding. Okay, here what is happening everywhere, whichever the things you are going to watch, whether YouTube videos or whatever things that you are going to watch, or whichever sessions you have taken, people are just going to explain the functionality of this tolerance group in a single line or might be 2 lines, right? And everybody will just make a note, isn't it? Once you go for interview, if the interviewers are going to ask certain questions, if they give certain scenarios and all, then what is happening, guys? With limited knowledge, it is impossible to answer the questions because scenario could be anything. We cannot say that, okay, this is only the scenario can be. Scenario there could be anything, right? So if you're having perfect understanding of that particular topic, it's quite easy to answer whatever questions are going to be asked by people, whichever scenarios are going to be asked by people. Okay, so use transaction code OBA4 to define a tolerance group. Once again, I said, guys, I'll say whenever I'm sharing the configuration documents, in that path and transaction code both are there, right? And whichever things you want to follow, you can follow. During my training, I use transaction code. This is how the time is going to be saved. Okay, press enter OBA4. Now we are going to define our own tolerance group. Click on new entry. Here in group field, you have to give a code. Okay. Now what is your company code, guys? Our company code is TM02. In group field also I'm going to give the same code. Okay. If you want to give any other code, like I said, T01, T02, or ABC, XYZ, whatever code you can give, you can give. So here the maximum length of this code will be 4 digits. I'm going to give the same code, whatever our company code is there, the same code I'm using here in group also, so that it will be easy for you guys to remember the code. Okay. Now, so this is the company code and this code belongs to tolerance group. Here we are going to specify certain amount limits. Let's suppose I will give a limits up to 500 only, because we have to post. Okay, first we have to perform the testing, right? I'll give a limit 500, and here discount, let's suppose 5%. This discount related things you will come to know, as I said, once we are having a topic called payment terms. That is also quite what to say unique things I'm going to explain in terms of payment also, guys. There are certain things which you might have never seen till now. So anyway, that topic will come later. Now, so here what is happening? Discount I have given, press enter. Okay, and now there is one question might be coming in your mind, that amount per document and amount per open item account. Why we are going to give these things at two places? So I have recorded a separate video for this one, right? Because in order to make you understand the differences and all, we must be having some account payable or account receivable related settings and all. Then only practically I can explain this. Okay, so nothing to be worried about right now. As I said, like complete things, whole things cannot be explained in one session, right? Because I have to, my style is to provide example, and that to practical example for each and everything. This is how you guys are going to be unique compared to whichever people are there in the market, right? Or whatever your competitors are there. So now here, so here what we have given, 500 limits. Okay, and as I said, like what is the difference in between, like between these two amounts, that you will come to know. Don't worry. Right now, just concentrate on this common things only. What is that? That it's a kind of control. Tolerance limits provide a kind of control. Okay, so that what will happen? Employees do not exceed their limit in terms of amounts and discount. We'll see the amount. Discount, as I said, we'll see later at the time of payment terms. And here we are going to give some nominal amount. Press enter. What is this nominal amount, guys? Permitted payment differences. What is this? Let me say this. Press enter. What is this permitted payment differences, guys? These things also you guys will come to know later, because once we post certain customer and vendor related, documents and all. Now, what is happening? Let's suppose you are having an invoice worth of 1,000. We have posted an invoice worth of 1,000, and then or like we have posted an invoice worth of 1,001 rupees. Okay, in case of customer, and what is the payment, guys, how much payment we are going to make? It's in round figure. Let's suppose 1000 itself. This is your payment. So if this is the case, there is a difference of 1 rupees, right? Difference of 1 rupees. Now here, what will happen once you post the payment? Once you are going to release the payments and all, then in that case, there is a difference. Okay, there will be a difference in terms of debit and credit amount. So now what will happen, guys? If there is a difference of even a 0.1 rupees, also system will not allow you to proceed further because there is differences in debit and credit. Debit and credit must be equal, right? So now here what is happening? For such kind of things, we are going to specify tolerance limits, in the sense some amount, small amount, that okay, in case of, look at here, permitted payment differences. Okay, so here payment differences is 1 rupees. Invoice belongs to 1001, and how much payment we are, let's suppose invoice belongs to 1001. This is your vendor invoices. Okay, in case of vendor invoices. So invoice is 1001 and payment we are going to make only 1000 in round figure, right? So there is a difference of 1 rupees. So here what I have given a maximum limit till 10 rupees. If the differences are till 10 rupees, then system is going to allow. So invoice 1001 and payment we are making 1000. This 1 rupees is what, guys? This 1 rupees is your revenue, it's your gain, right? So in gain I have specified till 10 rupees system will accept. Now the same conditions for customer, right? We have sold a goods worth of 1001 rupees to the customer, and customer is also going to make payment in round figure itself, guys. So sold a goods worth of 1001 and received amount or received payment of 1000 only. There is a difference of 1 rupees, but this 1 rupees difference is our loss. So in terms of loss also I said, like till 10 rupees loss is also going, because this is a nominal amount, right? So this is what we have specified. Now just save it, guys. We have already saved it. So what we have done, we have set up our tolerance group. But how system will come to know that this tolerance group has been set up for you only? Okay, so what is happening in next step? We must have to assign this tolerance group to the user IDs. Okay, look at here. I said like tolerance group need to be created. So instead of T01, I have created TM02. This is the tolerance group I have created, and instead of 10 lakh, I've given a small limit because we have to perform testing also, isn't it? So now I've given a small limit. Once we perform the testing and all, we can increase the limit, guys, right? And so now what will happen here? This limit I have given. Now this user ID, whatever the user IDs are there, that also must be assigned against the tolerance group. Then only system will be able to understand that yes, this tolerance group, whatever we have created, okay, certain restrictions we have applied, in the sense here certain restrictions are there for this tolerance group. So these restrictions are belongs to which users, in the sense these restrictions apply to which users. So those user IDs supposed to be assigned, guys. Where to assign? OB57 is the transaction code. There we are going to assign this user ID. Here what you have to do, guys, you need to click on new entry. You need to give your user ID. Your user ID itself. Why? Because you're having only one user ID. So as I said, we are going to just perform this testing and all. So better to assign your user ID and perform the testing. Once it is done, then what will happen, guys? After that, just increase the limit in the tolerance group. Okay. Once you perform the testing, it's more than enough to understand the concept. I'll tell you, guys, configuration steps, whatever the configuration steps are there, whatever the transaction codes are there, whatever the path which I have given in the configuration document, okay, if you don't do practice for continuously 4 days or 5 days, easily you are going to forget each and everything. right? But the concept, whatever I'm explaining right now, if you guys are able to understand this, you are not going to forget in your entire life also. Okay, it will be like there in your mind lifelong. Try to understand the concepts. There are lots of people wasting their time just for doing this blind configurations and all, right? Nothing will happen because if logic itself is not clear, then why to do this configurations and all, right? Now here, so this is my user ID, and which tolerance group I have created, guys? Tolerance group I have created TM02 itself. So I'm going to assign this TM02. Okay. Okay. I have, like made a mistake, guys. Okay, what is happening here? System is saying that this is already I have assigned, so let me remove. Okay, I have already assigned. Actually, before that, I was making a testing. So let me remove that here. And now I'm going to assign the new one. Okay, save it. So now I belong to this tolerance group, TM02. TM02. Now here that assignment is completed. Assignment is completed. Now here what will happen, guys? If you post, now you guys are not having any transaction to post right now because our certain, even we are having some more configurations which is remain. Once we perform, like if you have the GL settings and all, then only you guys will be able to post the transactions. And once you are able to post the transactions, then only you will be able to check this, what to say, setting, whether it is working fine or not, or you can test the setting tolerance group. However, I'm already having certain configurations which I have done in the same system. Okay, so I'll just do one thing, guys. I have already defined one more tolerance group for testing itself, and for that I have already performed the basic settings. So I would be able to post transactions for that company code. Say for example, OB A4, right? OB A4 is to define the tolerance group. So now what we have defined? We have defined TM02, that is the tolerance group here, right? There is a tolerance group. I have similar tolerance group I have defined for a different company code, that is, look at here, TM01. The similar tolerance group I have defined TM01, but this is belongs to a different company code. Okay, so I'll just perform a testing here for this company code and I'll show you how it is going to work out. So here it means I need to change the assignment. Okay, because if I have to perform testing for this company code, for this one I have created tolerance group TM01, so I must have to assign TM01 against my this one and save it. I've changed the tolerance group. Now it means this restrictions is applicable on my user ID, which is almost same. There is no differences. The only thing is like difference of company code. In TM02 company code, all the settings are not done. Why? Because step by step, one by one, we have to proceed further. So we'll perform the testing for this company code TM01, and for this company code I have already done certain settings. So now we'll do one thing. I'll post a transactions by using MD50. Okay, give your company code TM01 and give certain details. Don't worry, guys, these transactions you guys will be also able to post, but before that we have to perform some more settings that remain. Okay, once we perform those settings, then we are going to post the transactions. So let's suppose this is the GL number, guys, these two GL number, and this is bank GL number and this is rent GL number. Okay, your bank account is going to be, let's suppose, credited, your rent account is going to be debited. What of how much amount? Like I have given, let's suppose, 500. I have given a limit of 500. It means whichever user ID has been assigned against this tolerance group TM01 will not be eligible to post a transactions which is more than 500. So even if the transaction worth is 501 also, system should not allow me to post the transactions. Let me check, press enter. Let's see here, you may only post document up to 500. So if the transaction is going to be exceeded this limit, whatever limit I have specified here, okay, it means you are going to get the error, right? So if you receive such kind of requirement, it's quite easy to set up the tolerance group, guys, and whichever the users are there, you need to ask for the list of users, okay, that how many users are supposed to be, in the sense like list of users, how many units are going to be assigned against this tolerance group and all. Your client is going to give a list of, let's suppose, 60 user ID, 40 user ID, 50 user ID. What is happening, guys? We are going to assign tolerance group. You have to set up the tolerance group and you have to assign this tolerance group against those user ID. So what I have done, I have tested against my user ID itself. Now I'll just, because against this TM01 assignment is done, guys. Look at here, TM01. In TM01, this is the restrictions. Now I'm going to make it 1000. I'm going to make it 1000. Control S, save it. So in case of, once again you have to go to FB50 itself, guys. You must have to refresh the screen, then only the recent changes is going to be determined by system. So /n FB50 once again, give your company code TM01, sorry, not, yeah, TM01 itself, okay. And once again we are going to give this GL, okay, and same amount 501, or even if you want you can give like 700 also, which is more than 500, right? And if you press enter, look at here, this bank account and rent account GL. Okay, so look at here, now the amount is allowed here, green, it means balance is equals to 0. But the same amount, if it is going to be exceeded, like the limit which I have specified, that is 1000, so make it 1200. If you make it 1200, then press enter. Look at here, once again, system is saying that you can post up to 1000 iterations. So once you perform such kind of testing and all, then better to give a maximum limit here. Okay, 10 times 9. Give 10 times 9. Press enter like this. Here also. Okay, give this limit and then save it. Once you perform the testing, because if you are going to give a small limits, always whenever you are going to perform the testing, system is going to throw this error, right? So once you perform the testing, better to increase the limit and proceed further for the further testing. So why? Because we are having a lot more things to test. We are in the beginning phase itself, right? You guys will be having several other topics. You guys will be having several exclusive topic which you might have never seen anywhere. Almost everyone, like most of you have already taken this training somewhere, right? So there are certain topic, guys, which you'll never find anywhere, neither on Google nor on YouTube. That is, personally, I have received those requirements in past from my clients and all, right? And I thought like this requirement is going to be unique, so why not to cover for my students, and I cover in the live classes, and certain things I have recorded also in the interview question and answer sessions. Okay, so these things are for you, and this is how you guys are going to be unique. So hopefully you guys are having the understanding of this tolerance group, right? So now what we have done, what I have done, I've changed here TM01. Now I'm going to remove this, okay, or else I'll keep it as it is. Okay, you guys, what you have to do, you have to define your tolerance group. You have to assign this tolerance group against your user ID itself, because you're having only one user ID. Okay, and we have to perform some more testing, some more settings and all, GL settings and all, and after that we'll post the transactions. So I think if you talk about the testing, you guys will be able to perform testing after 2 or 3 sessions. Okay, So this is what the use of tolerance group. That's what I have explained here. That tolerance group refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limit in terms of amount and in terms of discount. I have shown in terms of amount, discount you guys will automatically see once we what to say do a testing for the terms of payment. Okay, now so this is all about tolerance group, guys. Now we are having one more thing, and that is called posting key. Okay, what is this posting key, guys? So look at here. Posting key decide the debit and credit side of transactions. Guys, this posting key is quite unique. Okay, even there are several people who knows only this much, that posting key decide the debit and credit side of transactions. It means it determines, like, see, I'll tell you, generally we are having, let's suppose I posted one transaction here, like rent account debit, here bank account, this is a transaction worth of whatever amount, let's suppose. Okay, so now what is happening, guys? Instead of debit and credit in SAP, everything will be like, we are talking in terms of codes only. Whatever things are there, whether it is posting period variant, field status variant, your company code, which in terms of code. So even for debit and credit transactions, whatever this debit and credit is there, for that also we are having certain codes. Let's suppose this is GL to GL entry. So for debit we are having these code. Instead of debit we are going to use 40. Instead of credit we are going to use 50. So this is a code. It is a key. Okay. So this is called posting key. This is called posting key. I've typed in shortcut. I've written in shortcut. This is called posting key. Okay. So posting key means what, guys? It determines the debit and credit side of the transactions, whether it is debit or credit. 40 means debit and 50 means credit. Don't be confused, guys. This is going to be quite clear because we are in beginning phase. People who have already taken this training and all earlier, so those people will be bit familiar with this posting keys and all, right? And even it is having some other controls also, guys, which is quite unique. Okay, that also I'll let you know. Okay, further you guys will come to know. So what is happening, guys? Posting key decide the debit and credit side of transactions. Look at here, certain posting key I have specified. For GL debit, posting key 40. GL credit, posting key 50. Customer debit, posting key 01. Customer credit, let's suppose posting key 15. Even for vendor, for even we are having assets 70, 75. So now don't be confused. It's not like that you are going to mug up all these posting keys. Okay, mugging up is not required, guys. Understanding is required. So we have to post several transactions in the upcoming sessions and all. So for this posting key also you guys will be quite familiar and need not to mug up anything right now. Okay. There was a question before TM01. Why we can't assign TM02 to your user? What is the question, Bharat? What you are saying? I think related to this tolerance.
Yeah, you wanted initially you tried to assign to TM02, but it did not allow, and you removed this TM01, right? So for one tolerance group is only for one user company code. Why not other company code?
Yes, I understood your requirement. Now I'll tell you generally. See, I'm having several tolerance groups, right? Every tolerance group is having different like amount limits and all. Okay, different rules are there, different restrictions are there, isn't it? Now, how come it possible that Mr. E is allowed for 500 also and Mr. A is going to allow for 50 lakh also? Only one is going to be applicable, either this one or that one. isn't it? So that is why already one tolerance group I have assigned in against my user ID, right? Now I'm going to assign one more. How system is going to allow, isn't it? You have to choose anyone, either A or B or C. That is the logic. So you can be either, you can fall under this group, 10 lakh or 50 lakh or unlimited, right? It's not like that we can assign this also against our user ID, this also against our user ID, and this. No, only one. So that is why. So since one tolerance group was already assigned against my user ID, this is why I have performed one testing before this class, right? So, and it's always my effort that I try to provide easiest example so that it will be quite easy for you guys to understand, isn't it? So that's what. So that is the reason system was not allowing me, because during testing what I did, I assigned one tolerance group, and this is why system was not allowing me to assign the next one. So I deleted the first one and then I assigned the current one. Now, so what I was talking, guys, we were talking about posting key. So posting key means what, guys? It is going to determine the debit and credit side of the transactions. What is the transaction code of posting key, guys? The transaction code of posting key is OB41. OB41. So here, whichever posting key has been given by SAP guys, it's more than enough. Okay, I just said, like, document types, whatever document type has been given by SAP. Of course, if requirement is there, then document type we can set up. Okay, new document type we can set up. But posting key, guys, whatever the posting key has been delivered by SAP, that is more than enough. And we are having options to create a new posting key also. But generally, what is the reality, guys? New posting keys are not required to set up. Of course, SAP has given this options and all. In future, if you come across or such kind of requirements and all, you can set up. And it's not set up, guys. Whatever the existing posting keys are there, that is going to be copied generally in real time also. Use transaction code OB41. I'll just show you. We are having several. Look at here, several posting keys are there, because several kind of transactions are there, guys. Several kind of transactions are there. Okay. Now let's suppose or this JV posting, general voucher, 40 and 50. Okay. So there are several things here, guys. Posting key means this 40 is for debit, and even it controls the account key also. Okay. This 40 posting key will be allowed only for which kind of accounts? Only for GL. Okay. Again, by using this 40 posting key, if you want to post any transactions which related to vendor or customer, then system will not allow. Okay, so this is also having a control on what, guys? Account type control is also there. Okay, what is this account type and all, that also you'll come to know, because like based on the transactions we are having, customer related transactions, vendor related transactions, year related transactions, assets are there, materials are there, but right now these all things yet to come. Okay, that is why I didn't put stress during defining this at the time of document types and all. As I said, like, okay, these all things will come in future. So right now what is happening, guys? Keep only one thing in your mind. Posting key, what does it controls? Debit and credit side of the transactions. Apart from this, guys, look at here, the most important things: maintain field status. So general data, double click. Right now I explained one topic, that was field status variant. Okay, and what I said, field status variant controls the fields which appears during transaction posting, and I'm saying posting key also control the same fields which appears during transaction posting. Right now the question is that why the same setting has been given, why like, look at here, this is also having the same functionality. Posting key is also going to control the fields which appears during transaction posting, and I said in the previous explanations that field status variant also controls the fields which appears control the fields. Which fields, guys? The fields which appears during transaction posting. So what is the difference between both? Posting key is also having same control. Field status variant is also having same control. There is a topic, guys, in upcoming sessions. There will be a topic. It's going to be quite unique explanations. That is company code settings and client level settings. Client level settings and company code level settings. Okay. Once I explain that, then you guys are going to understand the logic behind this. Okay, I said like posting key also controls the fields which appears during transaction posting. Okay, I said like let's suppose we are having, take example of any. Let's suppose FB50 right now TM01 itself. So lots of fields are appearing here. Let's suppose this lots of fields are appearing. This assignment, validate, right? So whatever these fields are appearing, these fields are controlled by what, guys? In the previous session, I might have told you that it is controlled by field status variant. Now in this session, I am saying that this field is even controlled by posting key also. This is controlled. Even look at your assignment number, right? So this is controlled by posting key also. Now the question is, the same fields are getting controlled by posting key, the same fields are getting controlled by field status variant also. Why it is so, right? Why the same setting has given by SAP at two different places? So of course there is a logic in this. So that you will come to know once I cover. Even I have already recorded an interview question and answers on this one, right? So those things also. There will be a topic called client level setting and company code level setting. So once I cover that topic, you guys will be having a perfect understanding about this. And there also, guys, for this client level setting and company code level setting, what is happening? See, in past I have taken interview for several people. I'll tell you, 98% of the people or 95% of the people, what is happening? They're not having the conceptual knowledge. In the sense, simply they have marked up 4 or 5 examples or 2-3 examples. Yes, this is the client level setting. This is the company code level setting. But you need to justify. If you say that document type, let's suppose, is a client level setting, how can you say that this is a client level setting? If you say that posting period variant is company code level setting, how can you say that this is a company code level setting? This is what is going to be asked by people, and you must have to justify. If you are able to justify, selection is there. If not, nothing, right? Simply they will say bye bye. So that's one. Anyway, once I cover that topic, then I'll explain those things. So now what is happening, guys? Posting key means what? I've explained here. Posting key decides the debit and credit side of the transactions, and even posting key also controls the fields which appears during transaction posting. Okay, but differences you will come to know, as I said, in the upcoming session, because still we are in basic setting itself, guys. Lots of topics are yet to come. Okay, so now we have done with the basic setting, guys, and so that's all in this session, and that's all for
Kumar,
This conference will now be recorded.
So now generally I do not record the doubts and all, because the video is going to be more and more lengthy. Now you let me one by one. What's your doubt? Who is having doubt? Tell me.
yeah, Ravindra here, Kumar.
One by
So
one,
in
one by one.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Ravi,
Ravi, yeah. So you have shown only one group of example for tolerance. So if you have explained 3 groups, right? So if you want to set up to another group, how can we set up as a practical? Because you have shown only one group, right? Can you show me in
so
practical?
I'll tell you one thing. See, it's quite easier, isn't it? I'll tell you generally. I'm having 3 groups, right? Now, since you're having only one user ID, you're having only one user ID to do this or do set testing and all. Now, I'll just do one thing. You're saying this is quite easy, guys. I think in one itself, the doubts are supposed to be clear, but and I think you should apply some common sense. Why? Because see, you create a two different tolerance group. Okay, I'm having like, let's suppose, I think this is gone. Okay, let me log in. Okay, now I'll just quote here. Now instead of TM01 or TM02, forget about that. Now let's suppose I'm having T01, T02 and T03. Okay, now here 500, 1000 and here 2000 limits are given. Okay, or is like this is unlimited. Unlimited means always we are going to give 10 times 9. Okay, because none of the transaction is going to exceed that amount, guys. This is a huge amount, right? Now, and certain discount, we'll keep the same discount, 5% high. Anyway, discount cannot be what to say tested right now. Okay, because we are not having this. Certain settings are required. Now, so as I said, like once I cover this terms of payment, you guys will come to me. Now here, let's suppose T01, T02, T03. So I think instead of this doing by me, instead like I'm doing, you guys are supposed to be tested of this one. This is how I can say that you guys are going to apply your common sense, right? OBA4, I'm going to do. Let's suppose new entry, group T01. Okay, company code, let's suppose TM02, I cannot give guys because TM02 further settings are not there, in the sense GL related settings are not there. So as I said, one company code is already created which is having the basic settings and GL settings, that is TM01. So I'm going to test for this one. 500, 500, 5% discount. I'm not going to give the submitted payment differences. Okay, because we have to perform testing and all. Now T01. Again, what is happening for the same company code? Copy this one and give T02. Okay, and now here for T02, what is the amount limit? 1000 only, right? So give here 1000. 1000. Press enter. So T02 we have also set up, right? And now, so we are having T01, T02, and copy this T02, and we are going to set up T03 also, which is having unlimited. Okay, here 3 and 3 6. Press enter. So this is unlimited. Okay, you are given maximum limit. Okay, so just save it. Now we are having 3 different tolerance group. Okay, if you have to perform testing, now you are having only one user ID, right? So what is happening? Go to OB52. Sorry, not OB52, it's OB57. And here, now click on position. Mine is already assigned a different tolerance group, so I must have to remove, and I'm going to give T01. T01, once I have given, it means my user ID is having restrictions, what, till 500 rupees. So simply we are going to perform testing for this one, right? This is how even you guys also can do, right? Okay, whatever debit and credit. If you give 400, which is less than 500, system is going to allow. If you are going to give 600, it is more than 500, right? It is more than 500, system will not allow. Why? Because our user ID has been assigned against this tolerance group, and which is having restrictions till 500 only. Now T02. Okay, so what will happen? I'm going to now same user ID we have to assign against T02 also, and we'll check for T02. That is already I have shown you guys. I've increased the limits, isn't it? So I'll tell you guys, my students are supposed to be smarter compared to whoever other people are there in the market, right? So that's what I'm putting this way and this way.
Thank you. Thank you, Kumar. Got it.
You got it? Now once
Yes,
again,
yes.
so you have to refresh. Isn't it? There should be some huge differences, guys. That's what I'm taking this much time and I'm trying to explain each and everything so that whenever you guys go for interview, there'll be huge differences. The differences you guys will be able to find out. Okay, once you go for interview, you'll come to know what is your level and what is the level of the people who is coming from other institutions and all. Right? These basic settings, whichever I have covered, these many sessions I have taken, it's going to be covered in a single sessions in 30 minutes or 40 minutes of the classes. You just watch the several videos are there on YouTube and people have covered these topics in 30-minute sessions. Simply they are, like teaching how to configure these things, how to configure like posting period variant, how to configure field status variant, how to configure tolerance groups, right? But the logics are not there. And even if somebody is going to explain also, they'll quote an example of certain examples, in the sense certain what to say definitions itself people are going to narrate within a minute, isn't it? So this is what. So again and again I have, since I have assigned a different one, so now you can see now 600 is going to be permissible. Why? Because this I have assigned what, T02, right? And T02 is having what, till 1000. So if anything exceeded 1000, it means if you go and post transaction worth of 1200, then this is not going to be allowed. Like that, even you can, if you assign this T03, then what is happening? Unlimited. Okay, unlimited will be there. So let me assign T03 itself because I have to perform several testing in futures and all, or else let me remove my user ID. Okay, there should not be any restrictions because I have to perform several testing. So this is the concept, this is the logic, guys. So now I'll just do one thing, guys. Now I'll pause the recording and we'll see the other doubts and all. Okay, because if I record those things, then this video is going to be quite lengthy, and for you guys in future it is going to be boring, because these things, I'll tell you guys, these explanations, these videos required before placements, and even these videos required after placements also. Okay. So, okay guys, that's all in this session. That's all for today. Let me pause the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
So sorry guys, actually there was a questions that this limit is only for employees. Here it was written by whom? Hansraj. Okay. So guys, I forgotten actually this tolerance limits. Tolerance limits not only for employee, even it is for GL also. Okay, this is a mandatory setting you must have to set up. Now what is the logic behind the tolerance limits for this GL and all? You guys will come to know later. During a 5M integrations, we are having a clearing account called GRIR. Okay, so at that point of time you'll be able to understand. But if we are not going to do this setting right now, then what will happen, guys? You'll be getting some error at the time of transaction posting. So right now what you have to do, you just assume that this is a mandatory setting, and OBA0, there is one more setting which we have to do. This is also related to tolerance, but that is for GL account. Okay, and now click on inventory and give your company code TM02. Don't give anything in the group. Okay, guys, if you keep the group field optional, then assignment is not, sorry, if you keep this group field empty, blank, then assignment is not required. It means this is applicable, blank tolerance group is applicable for all GLs. It is applicable for all users, even in at the time of defining this tolerance group for users also. Let's suppose if you are keeping it blank, it means what is happening, that is applicable for all users by default. So now here just keep it blank, and I reset like this logic, you guys will be able to understand when once we perform this FIM integrations, we are having GRIR account, clearing account and all. So at that point of time, but just assume that this is a mandatory setting which we have to do. That is why we are doing. Okay, logic you guys will come to know later. So this one I forgotten actually. I've seen the question raised by Hansraj, so that's how I was able to remember that yes, this is also a setting which I uh, forgotten. So what we have done, guys, now we have seen like tolerance group, tolerance limits. Look at here, OBA4 and OBA0. OBA4 is for user and OBA0 is for GL. Okay, OBA4, the logic I have explained, practically I have shown. OBA0 further in future, because as I said, several topics are there, so that is going to be explained. And posting key also I have explained, guys. Okay, so now once again I'll pause the recording. I think twice or thrice we have paused and again we have come back. So okay guys, now so finally that's all in this session, and that's all for today. So let me pause the recording now.